Hi, welcome back to Simply Jewish Parenting. I hope you're enjoying your Hanukkah. Today, we're diving into a question that troubles so many parents. Are our kids actually selfish, or are we misunderstanding what's really going on? So, let me share some real life examples from parents I've talked to. I just broke my foot and I couldn't go on my daughter's class trip with her. She came home from the trip and threw a tantrum that I wasn't there. My 5-year-old son doesn't let his friends play with any of his toys. I spent a lot of money buying my daughter a whole new wardrobe, and then she tells me she has nothing to wear. Sound familiar? When we see these behaviors, our first thought is often, my child is so selfish. They only think about themselves. We feel hurt, frustrated, and worried that we're raising entitled children. But here's what I want you to understand. Our kids aren't selfish, they're just human. And more specifically, they're developing humans whose brains literally aren't finished yet. So let's talk about child development for a minute. You know I love talking about child development. Young kids are developmentally egocentric. This isn't a character flaw, it's a cognitive stage. They generally have a hard time understanding how their actions impact others, and they don't have the ability to fully put themselves in another person's shoes. Her brain was flooded with big feelings and couldn't access the part that says, my mom is in pain, and couldn't help missing this. And here's something that might surprise you. Adults often act in ways that appear selfish too. We get caught up in our own experiences. We forget to ask how someone's day was. We complain about our problems without realizing what others are dealing with. Are we truly selfish, or are we just human? The answer is we're just human, and our kids are just being kids. But, and this is an important but, and I think modern parents forget this part. Just because the behavior is normal does not mean we ignore it. We can and should teach our children to respond differently, to act in ways that are more grateful, compassionate, and sensitive to others. That's our job as parents. We can't let it go. So how do we do that? It all starts with empathy. Instead of labeling the behavior as selfish, we first validate the feelings behind it. So the child who threw the tantrum after missing her mom on the trip, you want to say, you're so disappointed that I couldn't come on the trip. You were really looking forward to me being there. You wish I hadn't broken my leg. So notice what you did there. You showed you understand her feelings. You didn't excuse the tantrum, but you acknowledge why she felt that way. Then you can guide her to better behavior. It's hard when plans change suddenly. Next time, I know you'll try to use your words. You could say, Mommy, I was so disappointed you couldn't come. I hope you feel better soon so you could come next time. To the child who can't share, you're really involved in your play right now and using your blocks, and you don't feel like sharing. Then guide. It's tough to share your toys. Ellie was sad he couldn't play with the blocks. Maybe next time before your friend comes over, we could talk about what toys you're ready to share or how important it is to share with your friends. To the child who says she has nothing to wear after getting a new wardrobe, you're having a hard time finding an outfit that feels right today. It's frustrating when nothing seems to work. Then later, when she's calm, you could say, it could be hard to remember to be grateful for all the new things we just got. I'm sure you'll remember that next time. So this approach does something powerful. First, it diffuses conflict. Second, it teaches your child that you understand how they feel. Third, it keeps communication flowing instead of shutting down. And fourth, this is crucial. You're actually role modeling for them how not to be selfish. You're showing them how to take another person's feelings into consideration. And that is so important. Okay, here's your action step for this week. When your child does something that seems selfish, pause before reacting. Take a breath. Ask yourself what feeling might be behind this behavior. Then respond with empathy first and then guidance second. Give them the words that they need so they don't sound selfish. Remember, labeling our children as selfish can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But when we see their behavior as developmentally normal and respond with empathy and guidance, we give them the tools to grow into the generous, compassionate people we hope that they'll become. All right, In our next episode, we're wrapping up our Hanukkah series with learning how to deal with rude behavior in our children. Thanks for listening to Simply Jewish Parenting.